Hello everyone, welcome to OUP Online. Today we are going to take a look at a newspaper article and we are going to figure out what elements are in there so we can try and write a newspaper article ourselves. Ready? You can join in on our activities today simply by downloading the activity sheet, printing it out, and then just follow along. For this particular lesson though, please read the newspaper article that is attached on your activity sheet first. You can pause the video and then resume when you are done. You ready? So first of all, before we begin, we actually need to ask a big question. The big why. And this is not just for newspaper articles. This applies to everything you are writing about. Why are you writing it? For us, we're asking you, why are you writing a news article? Usually, people like to write news articles to tell other people what is going on around them. So think about this. Why did the author, Joanne Ma, write about students and teachers coping with online learning? That is because that's what's happening right now. Even you are having an online lesson right now. And you know that a lot of your friends and your family and your teachers, a lot of them are experiencing the same thing. Now that we have asked ourselves the big why, we need to make sure that we have all the information we need for a news article, namely the 5 W's and the H. But what are the 5 W's and the H? Well, they are who, what, where, when, why, and how. So using these questions, let's find the 5 W's and H for our article, just to make sure they have everything. You ready? The first question, who are we talking about? The title of the article tells us who we are talking about. We are talking about students and teachers. And then what are we talking about? The title of your article also tells you what you are talking about. Coping with online learning. And now, where? If you take a look at the second paragraph of the article, it will tell you where. It says, the citywide coronavirus outbreak has kept Hong Kong schools closed. We are talking about Hong Kong. And then, when? Well, this one is an easy one because then on the newspaper article, there's always a date printed. Now, our article says March 2nd, but the period the article is referring to includes now. So when are they talking about? They're actually talking about now. And why? Why are we doing online learning? The reason we are doing online learning is because of the coronavirus and class suspension. And the last question is, how? So how are we coping with this? We use online classroom tools like Zoom or Google Hangouts, or you can go on YouTube to download videos and watch and learn. So remember that we need to answer all of these questions before we have enough information to write a news article. In a newspaper article, there are also other elements that you have to include. For example, you will need to include the headline. The headline for our article is How Students and Teachers Cope with Online Learning During the Class Suspension. Now, previously when we answered the 5 W's, we know that the headline tells us the who and the what. Remember to include that. Then we need to know who wrote the article. For us, it is Joanne Ma. Then we need to have a lead. The lead is usually the first paragraph. It helps you capture your reader's interest so that they don't just read the headline and then they move on. You want them to read the entire article. And so in order to lead your readers so that they know what they are reading, we will need to include some subtopics. The subtopics for our article is beginner's mistakes and also longer lessons. Just reading the subtopics, you kind of remember what you read from the article. What kind of beginner's mistakes are we talking about? Well, we've got teachers who don't know that they needed to press present for their PowerPoint, and we've got students mute each other in the classroom. And for longer lessons, I remember that there were students telling us that, the lessons, because there are no more limits there, that sometimes there are 5-hour lessons instead of 1. Ooh. And in the end, there is usually a wrap-up. A wrap-up is usually your last paragraph. It gives you either a summary, an actual opinion, or it gives you a conclusion of the entire article. So remember, you will need to have these elements in your newspaper article. After you finish reading it, remember you're going to have to check your article. You're going to have to edit it. Now, the first thing I've given you here is remember to check the past tense. This only happens when the news you are reporting is already old. In other words, you're telling a story that has already happened. If a story is currently happening, like the one that we are dealing with now, the coronavirus, you are welcome to use the present tense. However, use a variety of reporting words. Reporting words are words that we can use to replace the word say. For example, you can exclaim something, you can question something, or you can answer something. These are all words that can replace say. Using different reporting words will help your article become more interesting. As for your ideas, remember, you need to select and reject. If you cannot reject some of your ideas, you'll want to include everything in there, but that will make your article too long to read. Pick out the ones that are important and include them in your article. After that, you're going to have to order the ideas. You can't just jump from one idea to the next. People will not be able to follow you. You want to be able to connect the ideas together. When you are done, remember to check the following. Do you have a title for your writing? Did you remember to include the headline? Do all of your sentences make sense? When other people read your article, do they understand what you are saying? Have you used capital letters for the names of people and places? This one is easy to forget. Don't forget to write the capital letters. And the last one, again, did you use the past tense? This only applies if we are talking about something that happened before. If you're talking about a situation that is happening now, like the coronavirus, we would use the present tense. So, why don't you try to write a news article too? What do you want to write about? What do you want other people to know about? When you figure that out, then what are the 5 W's and the H? What are the 5 W's? They are who, what, where, when, why, and the H is how. After that, what order do you want your information to be in so the readers can follow? And at the end, what will the wrap-up be? What is your conclusion, or what is your opinion about this? You're welcome to use the activity sheet to help guide you to write your own news article. We're looking forward to seeing any of them if you would like to show us your completed work. So happy learning, and we will see you next time. Thank you, and bye-bye.